Welcome to the coolest coast. I'm Tina Prigge. It is maple syrup production season and the sap is flowing. So we're gonna go into the woods with InTheWoods Sugar Bush. Let's go learn all about it. You're watching the coolest coast.
Jesse Wagner from InTheWoods Sugar Bush in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. I'm a maple syrup producer with my wife and my dad. We make high-end, high-quality maple syrup, and the season's just getting underway. We're just starting to tap trees, and we're waiting for some warm weather for the sap to start flowing. Typically, we need 40-degree days during the day and 25 degrees at night. So a sugar bush is a woods that's primarily maple trees, and our woods is probably 75% maple trees. So sugar is what the maple syrup is, so that's why they call it a sugar bush. Maple sap is 98% water, 2% sugar. We want to get that 2% sugar out to make the maple syrup. So what that translates into is it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. Tree needs to be a minimum of approximately 40 years of age and 10 inches in diameter, and before we start tapping it. We can tap a tree every year as long as that tree is living. We have to drill a hole and physically pound a tap into a tree every year this time of the year, in the spring, typically the end of February to beginning of March. And then the following year, we got to drill a new hole. We got to move over away from that hole and drill a new hole and do it again. And we can do that. We can go around the whole circumference of the tree multiple years. So we collect all the sap every day and process it. Boil it with a wood-fired evaporator. Steam off 98% of the water, and what we're left with is the 2% sugar. So it takes a very large volume of sap to make a little bit of syrup. So for instance, last year in 2018, we boiled 50,000 gallons of sap and we made 1,400 gallons of syrup, finished product. My operation's been going on I bought this piece of property in 1998, and I've been making maple syrup here ever since 1998. I'm a third generation maple syrup producer. I've been making maple syrup ever since I was 5 years old with my dad. There are different grades of maple syrup. It's all grade A, and it's graded on color and flavor. So there's grade A golden, delicate, grade A amber, rich, and grade A dark, and grade A very dark. Just like it sounds, pure maple syrup is pure maple syrup. There is no other ingredients in maple syrup. We take the sap out of the tree, boil it down, filter it, put it in a bottle. We receive a blue ribbon for our syrup every year that we send it in. Phelps up in northern Wisconsin has a contest every year. In 2015 and 2016, we got first place for our syrup, and we received best of show 2 years in a row. So we're pretty proud of that. So maple syrup, you can put on anything. Anything you would want to put a sweetener on. It's a much better alternative to white sugar.
Thanks to Jesse and InTheWoods Sugar Bush for this comprehensive tour of how maple syrup is made. Now, let's give maple syrup an actual taste. is good. We'll see you next time on the Coolest Coast.
Support for this episode of The Coolest Coast comes from Amy Townsend of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Starck Real Estate.